Well, welcome back to, I guess, if you're watching this on my YouTube channel. So, welcome back to my channel. And basically, what I'm doing is speaking out my mind because there's a lot of stuff that I don't understand how people like could have such a an extremist view, especially people that I know that follow me or that I've dealt with. I really thought, and I still would like to think that they're civil, educated, and have common sense. But every time I post something and I hear some of the reply, some of the comments, I'm like, are we not really seeing the same thing here? Or what is it that I'm missing? Am I the wrong one? And of course, they're going to say that I'm the wrong one. But let me say this, right? How can I be wrong, right? Now, if the shoe don't if the shoe don't fit, don't wear it, right? But how can I be wrong being a parent, right? If you have no kids, then you cannot understand this. So how can I be wrong being a parent and not being cool with the alphabet and trans shit and all this other stuff being taught to kids in school? You know what I'm saying? Or they being exposed to it at a young age. I think the ones that don't agree with me are not parents or don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? So it leads me to think that I don't think I'm the crazy one. And if you do have kids and you don't see that as a problem, then your parenting's in questioning. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's a difference. If you want your kids to be tolerant of other people's opinion and respect other people's opinion, that's fine. But if you agree, if you think it's right that kids should be taught in school by not by you know what I'm saying? Because there's certain things that I think the parents should be um it should be teaching their kids, like sexuality, you know, I politics, religion, you know what I'm saying? Like that should come from the parent. You know what I'm saying? And without bias, and some of y'all can't do that. But I don't think I'm wrong if I don't want my kids to be taught, and I will say my kid because the other one is old, is an adult now. You know what I'm saying? And so she's gonna learn what she's gonna learn. It's gonna be her. She's at an age where she can make her own decisions. But my youngest one is not at that age, and she's still and she needs to learn what's right from my perspective because I'm the parent. You know what I'm saying? Even if people think it's wrong, because I think parents that are teaching their kids that it's okay to be what you feel instead of what you are bad parents. They're in my opinion. So if you're a parent and you think that me telling my kid that what you think or what you feel you're not is what you could see, that's who you are, then, and you think I'm a bad parent, then that's your opinion. But you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have no kids and you're not a parent, then your voice doesn't matter, your opinion doesn't matter. Okay? So I I find it kind of amazing that people would and listen, if you're trolling, I get it because I'm a big troll. You know what I'm saying? But some of these people, they get kind of like personal, and and they speak on stuff that they have no idea. And if and I'm gonna stay on the parent topic. And if you are a parent and you think that that's okay, then you shouldn't have no kids, bro. Like they should take your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because you there's something wrong, right? Um, Another thing is like, look, I'm passionate about, well, to finish the whole alphabet thing, the trans shit. I have no problem if you're gay, if you transvestite, if you into bestiality. I don't give a damn what you're into or what you want to be, as long as you're an adult and you decide to do that. But don't push it on the kids. I don't see how that's crazy. And I don't see how that's uh homophobic or anything like that. Like if you're gay, be happy. that is your life, but nobody told you to be that. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to force it on people, on kids. That's all I'm saying. If you could look, if you want to be, if you're an adult and you want to cut your titties off, cut your penis off, go ahead and do it. It's your fucking body. You, at the end of the day, you are going to have to, if you believe in God, you're going to have to answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Because if you believe in God, right? God doesn't make mistake. God is perfect. So you're telling me that God made you in a different, by mistake, in a different body. So that's between y'all two. You know what I'm saying? That's between you and your God. If you don't believe in God and you believe in science, I think you're choosing what science to pick. But anyway, that's all I'm saying. If you're gay, if the alphabet, trans, all of that bullshit, I have no problem. You could do whatever you want as long as you're an adult. Don't push it on the kids. Don't push it on my kid. And the thing is, it's the schools, you know what I'm saying? Because you have all these liberals, all these hippies that are there like, oh, you can do whatever you want, dude. You know what I'm saying? And no, don't you no. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're a math teacher and you're talking about social justice, then go teach social justice. If you are a social justice teacher and you pushing all this crazy agenda, then that's where you need to be unbiased. You need to like show what these um progressive, and has nothing to do with, with politics. I'm just using these terms because I mean, you got to be very liberal to accept that you could be a dog and people got to say that you're a dog, or that you're a woman trying to be a man, and we have to say that. You got to be very liberal. You know what I'm saying? You got to have that mentality, and to an extent it's kind of a mental issue. But this cannot be in the schools. It should be very neutral, right? Or very like not stepping over the boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Just teach um a non-biased way, and that's it. And let people come to their own conclusion. And in the sense of kids, like that should not be in the school system. And it's up to the parents to teach the kids and what they want to believe, because it's their kids. You know what I'm saying? This is not something that's being that kids are not don't belong to the state. You know what I'm saying? Even though technically, social security numbers, but that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? But a parent should be able to control and know and do what's best, what they think is best for their kids. And that's if you think that a man could be a woman and a woman could be a man, and you want to teach that to your kids, then that's fine. But it should not be in the school. I should be able to teach my kids what I want them to believe when it comes to certain things like that. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Now, the other part that I don't understand, right, and it's confusing to me, is, and I'm very, very passionate about this topic: illegal immigration. Now, listen, I have people hitting me up and writing shit talking about they're deporting legal immigrants. I haven't seen that yet. And if you know if you have proof out there that that's happening, then okay, that's wrong. But legal citizens, and this is why I'm saying people talk about shit that they don't know. There's many levels of legal immigration. You know what I'm saying? There's people that came here illegal and are going through the process of becoming legal. But you came here illegal. So if those are getting deported, you came here illegal, right? Then you have the ones that because it gets so much in the weeds that a lot of y'all don't know what the fuck immigration is all about. You know what I'm saying? So like you have people that come here on a tourist visa, and they overstay their visa, and then they try to get married to a citizen to get their citizenship, and then the process, but you still overstay your visa. So it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? And then you have people that come here, with as a resident, a permanent residence, right? With an alien card or green card. You know what I'm saying? That if those people are getting deported, now that's a problem because they did all the step correctly. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to talk about people that came here on asylum and da da, let me tell you something, yo. One thing that us Latin people know is that Americans are fucking bobos. You know, un bobo. That means like somebody that could get manipulated very easily. Un bobo, right? We know that. And we use that to have y'all start fighting for us. You know what I'm saying? And when I say us, I'm talking about Latin. Not that I'm illegal, because I've never came to this, like, since day one, I've been in this country legally. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't apply to me. But we know that Americans are soft-hearted. You know what I'm saying? And they play on that. You know what I'm saying? And that's the point where, if you are not from that cloth, if you're not cut from that cloth, you don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So stop trying to like argue stuff that y'all don't know about. You know what I'm saying? That's like me trying to argue with a Muslim about the Muslim religion. I'm not Muslim. I don't know shit about that. You know what I'm saying? At that point, all I could do is shut the fuck up and listen. You know what I'm saying? So for y'all that are not immigrants, legal or illegal, shut the fuck up and listen. And I'm gonna tell you right now this, right? And I said this is a passionate subject for me. You know what I'm saying? So nobody that I have talked to, right, about immigration and all that stuff. First of all, they don't know exactly. They talk about all these talking points that they hear on TV and stuff like that, and I know right away that they have no idea. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that even those illegals that are coming in here through the southern border, you know what I'm saying? They go through a lot of shit, rape, kill, and all that stuff. I know people that came through the southern borders. You know what I'm saying? Southern border and borders, because it's more than one, but and they saw a lot of shit, and now they here struggling more than they did in their own country, DR. You know what I'm saying? So please look, if you are, and I'm going to be very specific on this, right? If you are a Hispanic, Dominican, Mexican, Venezuelan, Salvadorian, anything, Cuban, right? That, and notice that I did not say Puerto Rican, because that's a separate thing. But if you are any of that, any of those people that I said, and you was born in the United States, shut the fuck up. All right? Shut the fuck up. You do not know. You do not know. Listen to the words that are coming out of my mouth. You do not know. Okay? I don't give a damn if you have family members and all this other shit. You do not know. All right? And whatever your family members is telling you, I, you do not know. So please shut the fuck up. If you was born in this country and you claim to be Hispanic, right? Because you technically you are, right? Because your mother and your father, they were born over there, they came here, and but you was born here and you was raised here. Shh. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing because you don't know. Okay? You don't know. Now, I didn't mention Puerto Ricans, right? And for a very specific reason, you know, because I do have Puerto Rican friends, you know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong. Like, first of all, let's get it straight. They are Latinos, right? They're Hispanics, but they're different because they're American. So they're Puerto Ricans, but they belong to the United States. So and listen, I'm not, I know I'm gonna get some of you Boricos out there upset. And I'm not saying this to take anything away from you, but the truth of the matter is that you can't talk about immigration because you don't get green cards. You are born with a American passport. You know what I'm saying? And going from Puerto Rico to the United States is like taking a flight from Alaska to the United States or Hawaii to the United States. You're American. There is no immigration issues that you guys go through. So please don't say nothing. Now, like I said, I'm not saying that you're not Spanish. You're Spanish, but you're a different type of Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, an American Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And 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 there is a difference between New York Ricans, I mean American Ricans, and that's a kind of an oxymoron. But there's a difference between Puerto Ricans that are born in the United States and Puerto Ricans that are born in Puerto Rico, even though Puerto Rico is part of the United States. So it gets complicated, right? But what I'm telling you is that you cannot speak on immigration because Puerto Rico doesn't have a different passport. The Puerto Rican passport is blue with an American eagle. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. You know what I'm saying? So please, because I have some Puerto Ricans that are questioning my my knowledge on immigration. And to be honest with you, like you shouldn't be questioning my immigration, my knowledge on immigration because you're not an immigrant. You know what I'm saying? You're an American. It's like me, right? I'm an American citizen, you know what I'm saying? But when they ask me where you from, I'm like, well, are you asking me my nationality or where I'm from? And they were like, your nationality. I'm like, Dominican, you know what I'm saying? But I was raised in New York and I live in Tennessee, right? A Puerto Rican can't really say that. You know what I'm saying? Because when like a Puerto Rican is an American, but they are from Puerto Rico. So if you want to think about this, right? It's like saying it's like asking an American, and I hate saying Americans because you're not Americans. Like people that live in the United States are not Americans; they're United Statians. But it's like asking a United Statian, um, what are you? Where you from? That are born in the United States, and that they'll tell you, I'm from Texas, I'm from New York, I'm from Florida, I'm from Chicago, Illinois, whatever. That's like saying asking a Puerto Rican, like, where you from? Well, I'm American. I'm a United Statian, but I'm from Puerto Rico. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to get too much in that, but just know, because I know y'all Puerto Ricans are gonna get mad, but I'm telling you, mad love. I'm just saying, don't come at me talking about immigration because you don't know shit. You don't know shit. You're like those Dominicans, those Mexicans, those whatever from Latin America that are born in the United States. You don't know. So shut the fuck up. With that said, it is great that they're getting rid of all the illegals. It is great. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand how you could live in this country, being an immigrant, a legal immigrant that's paying taxes and all that stuff, and being okay with with your tax money going to people that did not invest in the economy, not in the economy, that didn't invest in the program, the taxes, right? Because I know people. This is coming from personal stuff. I know people, right, that need food stamps, Medicaid, and all that stuff, and they get denied because they say they're making too much, and they're just making 20,000 a year, 24,000 a year. That's shit. That's nothing. And they got to pay. They got to pay all utilities. They got to pay rent. They got to pay for a car and all that stuff. And they can't get medical insurance because they got to pay for that too with a $20,000 a year salary. And then you have an illegal that comes from I don't know where and gets all the benefits. Just think about that. I don't know how I'm wrong for thinking that. You know what I'm saying? For saying that I want illegals out. I don't like this has nothing to do with with politics. It just has to do like so people that think like that. I always take the analogy of your house. So you're saying that I could go to your house right now and say, "Fuck your kids, fuck your family, take care of me." Matter of fact, all that food that you cooking, nah, you're not going to give it to your wife or your kids first. You're going to give it to me first. And then whatever I have left over, I'm going to give it to you. And you're cool with that. That's the same shit. And I don't care like what you're saying. You come with numbers and all this other bullshit that makes no sense. Because at the end of the day, I keep saying common sense and critical thinking goes a long way. You don't need to have somebody feed you what you could figure out on your own. And if you can't figure that out on your own, then I'm questioning your intelligence. You know what I'm saying? I'm questioning your intelligence. And I don't want to make this political, but at the end of the day, it goes back to like the people that think that are what? Are what? My left, your right. So lefties, Lefties, lefties. And that's all I got to say about that. Think.